Welcome to AIM Products for Nutrition That Works with AIM Biologist and Quality Assurance Manager, Philip German.
Welcome to today's program. We're going to be talking about FloraFood. FloraFood's kind of one of these exciting AIM products. It's one of my favorite products. It's simple, but there's a lot going on within the ingredient itself and what it does within the body. If you're not familiar with FloraFood, we're talking about a probiotic. So we've got a probiotic with 3 billion bacteria in each capsule. So we've got the Lactobacillus gasseri, we have Bifidobacterium and Bifidolongium. So what we're getting out of these 3 bacteria is we're consuming bacteria, which first thing, maybe that's bad, maybe that's good. We want good bacteria, and these 3 are very good bacteria and can do really good things for our digestive system. So we definitely want to be taking those good bacteria in. And when we're consuming these 3 billion per capsule, what we're doing is we're introducing bacteria into a system that may be absent of some of the bacteria. So we may be suffering from some symptoms of a lack of bacteria in our bodies. And so we want to kind of repopulate that system. In a typical healthy person, we're talking about 100 trillion of these good bacteria and some bad bacteria in our digestive system. That's a lot. We're talking 10 times more bacteria cells than the cells in the human body. So there's lots and lots of bacteria in our bodies, good and bad. And so we're going to want to repopulate, and FloraFood's a great option to do that. So what's going to happen when we consume FloraFood? Well, the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to start the digestion process. And these bacteria are going to make their way into the gut. And what makes FloraFood special, specifically Lactobacillus gasseri, is its ability to actually adhere into the microvilli of the gut. And this is important because a lot of bacteria that we can see in these other probiotic formulas out there and these other products is they have really high numbers, but they're not actually staying in the gut. They're not adhering to the microvilli. So what happens is you'll take 40 billion out of this product and, well, lo and behold, it's just going to make its way all the way through the gut and no benefit. Lactobacillus gasseri has this really cool benefit where it can actually adhere. It can actually get into the folds of the microvilli within our gut and it can repopulate. It can start growing and adding more of this good bacteria, and that's what we want. It has this ability to adhere. Now, not all of the probiotics that we consume are going to adhere like that, so we want to get as many as possible. And when we start talking about getting these probiotics to adhere, that's when we want to talk about feeding them. So FloraFood is a probiotic. So it is actual bacteria itself. If we add a product like Fit and Fiber, which is a prebiotic, so this is a food for the probiotics, it can actually help those probiotics grow and multiply and actually expand and repopulate the gut. Remember, we talked about 100 trillion bacteria. Well, that's a whole heck of a lot. And if we're only adding 3 billion at a time or 4 billion at a time, that's not a lot. So we want to be able to add those and then allow them to grow, allow them to expand. And that's what we're going to do when we start combining products like FloraFood and Fit and Fiber. You can't have one without the other. So you need to supplement the bacteria and then feed those bacteria that good prebiotic fiber that you're going to get from Fit and Fiber. So spending a lot of time on Lactobacillus gasseri. And I think it's because it's one of the more interesting of the 3 bacteria found in FloraFood. But there's benefits outside of just the gasseri. So we've got of the other Bifidobacteriums, so what they can do and what they can't do. It's a matter of adding a different variation of these bacteria to our gut. The nice thing about these 3 species is that they've been found in infants. So that's important because it's a naturally occurring bacteria that's in our bodies, and we're reintroducing that natural bacteria back into our system. Now, there's studies, of course, over the years that have looked at these bacteria, and they found numerous benefits. But one of the big things that I think isn't talked about enough is when we repopulate the gut, we also balance the pH and we create a more alkaline environment. So many of us have this very acidic environment. Prebiotics and their ability to repopulate can actually create a very alkaline environment, which is good for our health and kind of goes along with some of the other AIM products and the AIM philosophy behind those products. Now, when we start talking about Bifidobacterium, we've got two. We've got Bifidobacterium bifidum and longium. Now, when you're talking about these probiotics with, say, a new member, or you're talking about them with a friend or family member, you don't need to pronounce these, guys. You don't need to pronounce them correctly, but you just need to be able to know what they do. And the Bifidobacterium, those are really good at promoting great digestion. So as we age, sometimes we have our ability to digest foods kind of decreases over time. And what we want to do is actually improve that digestive system. On top of that, we want to improve our immune system, right? So having a strong immune system, especially, if we're going into these changes in weather and kind of feel a little under the weather, that's an opportunity for us to take more FloraFood, actually increase the amount that we take per day. And that's going to help kind of create this army of good bacteria. And that army of good bacteria is going to be able to fight off some of these pathogens. And it's really kind of a battle that occurs within the digestive tract. You've got good bacteria and bad bacteria fighting it out. And so we want to give our bodies every opportunity that it can get to really fight that battle and win over time. There was a study done in 2005 that actually looked at these three species of probiotics and found when these individuals were given these products, they were able to shorten the term of colds. So people who were getting a cold, if they were taking these three species, the duration of that cold was shortened by 2 days. 2 days can make a big difference. I mean, you're thinking about days missed of work. You're thinking about kids and things like that. And 2 days is a lot that we can get back. So just consuming these probiotics every day, it's an important part. We want to make this part of our daily routine. And FloraFood's a really easy way to add it to our daily routine. Now, again, I just want to reemphasize that connection. So we talked about FloraFood and that connection with a probiotic and a prebiotic. Remember, Fit and Fiber is going to be that prebiotic, that food that's going to feed those bacteria that we're introducing through FloraFood. So it's a really kind of a dynamic duo in a way where you're going to be feeding and supplementing, and that's going to create just a really healthy digestive system and a healthy immune system. Well, that's going to be the short of it today. Really appreciate everyone's time, and we will see you next time.
The statements made herein have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration or other regulatory agencies. AIM products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Any testimonials should not be construed as representing results everyone can achieve. You've been listening to AIM Products for Nutrition That Works. Please join us again.